Do you know that reading books is scientifically proven to improve your vocabulary, improve your communication skills with others, but also reduce your stress? Here in BRS, that is book reading session, we have a wonderful opportunity to share our thoughts and knowledge not only with the people of the same age of yours, but also with Dr. Kiran Bedi.
Hi, my hobbies are dancing, reading, writing poetry, and creating art. And here are a few glimpses. A piece of poetry I wrote recently titled Staying Through Apocalypse, a few of my art pieces, and one of my favorite books to read. Thank you.
Hi, I have a diverse list of hobbies. Few of those are studying geopolitics, map interpretation, mobile photography, listening to music, and of course, painting, which I do the most. Let me show few of my paintings. Thank you.
Hi, my hobbies are reading books, traveling from different places and exploring them, and baking. Here are some glimpses of my baking.
Hi, my hobbies include reading, writing, cooking, and listening to music. Here's the glimpse of the book I wrote.
My hobbies are spending time with old age people, feeding food to animals, reading horror books, cooking, and I even love to eat a lot. And I love to drive Royal Enfield bullet bikes, shooting, and my dream is to become an IPS officer just like Srimati Kiran Bedi ma'am.
Hello everyone, I have many hobbies, but my favorite hobby is planting, which I do in my free time. Plants are very important for our life. They enhance the look of my house and also very important, they give oxygen to our environment. I love all my plants and you can see it behind my creativity.
My favorite book is Good Vibes, Good Life by Vex King. This book conveys the message that how positive thoughts can change us into a healthier and a better human being. It has taught me to practice self-care, cultivate positive lifestyle habits, and overcome the fear of failure by believing in oneself and the universe.
My favorite book is Toto-chan, the Little Girl at the Window, written by the famous Japanese actress Tetsuko Kuyanagi. In the book, she writes about her own childhood experience from the time of World War II, where she teaches us the correct way of educating young minds for the overall development of heart, mind, and soul.
Hi, I have read many books, but my most favorite book is Harry Potter. Harry Potter taught me that we should never give up. He fought with Voldemort and defeated him. The second lesson which I came to know is that it's important to believe in yourself. Believing in yourself is the key to success. Thank you.
Hi, I have read so many books, but to be honest, most of those are in my vernacular language, Bengali. One of such book for which I would forever cherish about is Pother Pachali by Vibhuti Bhushan Bandyopadhyay. Satyajit Ray had also made an award-winning film based on this novel. And also the so unalloyed writing of this book make me always feel connected towards it.
My favorite book is Food or Child. It It is very special to me because I have got it as first prize till now. It explains a very inspirational story of an abnormal child who is suffering from differentiating science facts and black magic.
Everyone, my favorite book is Adventures of Tom Sawyer, and whose author is Mark Twain. In Adventures of Tom Sawyer, this book is about a young lad and whose experiences are beautifully mentioned in this book. In this book, we are told that we should respect our elders and we should be loyal towards our friendship.
How nice.
जयधारी माँ, जयधारी माँ आप सबको, जयधारी माँ बच्चों, हमारी ऑडियंसेस का स्वागत है, आइए जुड़िए. Mommy, it's wonderful seeing all of them and their introduction. It's wonderful to see the books that you're picking up and reading. And I was very, very happy to see Prakti reading in Bengali. Very happy to see that you're reading in your language. Ji, Mummy, they are going to share their thoughts on Saints of India. आप कुछ कहेंगे इनको? Then we just see a quick clip and then the conversation. Ji, can start.
So, welcome, children. Happy to see you all. Very versatile. All of you versatile and very good all rounders. Today's world, tomorrow's world belongs to the all rounders. So, never ever think that doing more will mean less marks for you. No, doing more will mean more marks for your life. Life, because this is what it is. So I'm very happy all of you are versatile differently, but we're focusing on books because that will be your permanent asset of knowledge and skill. Information is power, knowledge is power, and so are your all round qualities. So that's why we're focusing. Why are we focusing on saints? Because saints is your moral science. Saints is your conscience. So through books goes into your head. Saints go into your heart. And through your heart, you work on your hands and your legs because your mind is going to direct you to do the right things. So books and saints go together. So I'm so happy that you've all coming prepared. As Saina said, thank you very much. I want to thank the demonstrative learning team for having sorted out and called. Hey, no boys today. Today, no boys, Saina. You disconnected. We got to find out what is a boy because normally we've always had a boy or two in the group, but there's all 6 girls almost in the same group. So age group also. But lovely meeting you. I look forward to hearing all of you.
जी, एक clip देख लेते हैं, then we continue with our conversation.
That's lovely. So let me see, Ananya, who was your saint and what's your takeaway from the saint?
Good evening, ma'am. I'm Ananya Sharma, 16 years old. I am from Dehradun. The saint that I chose was Swami Dayanand Saraswati ji. And my reason for choosing Swami Dayanand Saraswati ji was because he was a visionary. He believed in his ideas, he believed in talking about the future. At a very conventional time when still people were fighting for their castes, for their genders, he stood up and he spoke for people. He believed that future is what lays ahead and it's not the past or the present. So that is why I chose him. And another reason why I chose him was because he really believed in the power of karma, in the power of action. And even I believe in the power of action. I believe what seed I sow would be my tree in the future. Thank you.
Superb. Ananya, very well said.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Excellent. Anamika, your turn.
Good evening, ma'am. My name is Anamika Mahanti. I'm from Jagannath Dham, Puri. I'm 17 years old. The saint I chose is actually a saint come a freedom fighter. His name is Utkalamani Gopabandhu Das. He believed that anything can be solved from education. Education with a pinch of spirituality can solve anything, any modern problem, and education and equality, liberty can uplift a society. And he inspired me to work for the people, for the country. Thank you.
The saints you're mentioning, Ananya and Anamika, um, develop more on that, research more on that on your own as general knowledge, because you never know when the college or the school may ask you to make a speech or something
Yes.
impromptu. Be ready with
Yes, ma'am.
this. Research
Yes,
more, okay, and
yes.
internalize what they have, the message they've given you is in your life, in their life.
Yes,
Jia,
ma'am.
your turn.
Good evening, ma'am. My name is Jia. I am from Swami Sandas Public School. I am pursuing my medical. I have chosen the topic of Guru Kabir Das ji. Kabir Das ji was a great saint and a poet. We don't know his particular date of birth because there are many dates of birth which are given in the Google and we gain knowledge. There is a very famous doha of Kabir ji that Guru Gobind do khade kaake lagu paए बलिहारी गुरु आपने गोबिंद दियो बताए. In this doha, Kabirji taught that in our front, if our guru and our teacher is standing, whom we are going to bow down first. He said that we are gonna bow down to our teacher because he gave us the way to reach that guru. And I really get very motivated after listening the dohas of Kabirji. Thank you.
बहुत अच्छे, शाबाश, बहुत अच्छे संस्कार आएंगे आप में जैसे जैसे आप लोग। स्वागता, आपकी टर्न। स्वागता, स्वागत का।
Namaste, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. My name is Swagatika Chaudhary. I am belong from Odisha. I am currently studying in class 11th Commerce Kendra Vidyalaya number 2. My hobbies are spending time with animals, feeding food to them, spending time with old age peoples, and loving to read horror books also, ma'am. These all are my hobbies. Thank you, ma'am. And my
Thank you very much.
favorite saint is Gautam Buddha, ma'am. Gautam Buddha's lifestyle inspires me a lot. He knows how to address intelligence, non-believing criminals. Buddha is everyone's God. He always used to say, you must live a peaceful life. One should have a peace of mind. One should detach oneself from the cycle of integrating that produce dukkha means pains. Gautam Buddha's one most and loveliest famous sloka is Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dharanam Khambam Gacchami, Sharanam Gacchami. So, ma'am, I request you all to sing with this song with me just for 2 to 3 seconds. Can you sing with ma'am, please?
Yes, you sing, we will follow you.
Buddham Sharanam Gacchami.
Buddham Sharanam Gacchami.
Dhambam Sharanam Gacchami.
What is the first word? Dhamma?
Dhambam Sharanam Gacchami.
Dambam Sharanam Gacchami.
Sargam Gacchami.
Sargam Gacchami.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. If you're following good Buddha's path, you will always be at peace with yourself and you'll never disturb others' peace. And anybody who's at peace with himself will
Thank you
always
so
be
much, ma'am.
more productive. Tanveen, your turn,
Thank you,
please.
ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. I am Tanveen Kaurbal and I am from Jalandhar and I am 16 years old. The saint I have chosen is Pai Gurdas ji. Ma'am, my grandfather always told me about Pai Gurdas ji, what he had written, and I always feel encouraged from his words. When I feel disappointed that I am not doing anything and I will be failed, then I always listen to the words of Pai Gurdas ji that always give me motivation and give me a virtue of life, that believe yourself and leave rest on the God. And that's why I have chosen this saint, because he has a real source of inspiration in my life. Thank you, ma'am.
Very good. At this age, if you follow these and you speak these thoughts, you read these thoughts, they stay with you, and they change you. You change. They mold your thinking. They may not change, but they mold. They make you drive the right road. So good. Prapti,
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, everybody. I am a 17-year-old girl from West Bengal. The saint I have chose is Swami Vivekananda. His speech that serving humanity is what serving God really molds me. And also, he had a very powerful, breathtaking speech developed in his journey, and he used to dominate the young minds for quest of knowledge. His speech in the America, which changed the rest of the world's perception towards India, and that thought that Vasudhaiva Kutumbaka, that we welcome the rest of the world as our guest, is something which inspires me. His undomitable quest for knowledge and and having questions for everything, for justification with logic, is something which inspires me. That's why I have chosen him. Thank you, ma'am.
see, seen in this is 103rd weekend show. It's a 103rd. You are batch 103. And ever since we started with the saints of India, we've noticed some are coming back again and again. Some saints are getting repeatedly. Vivekananda ji is one. Buddha is another. Kabir is another. And this one, some of the Sikh gurus is another. It's amazing how they are all living. They are all legends for us for all times to come. All times to come. So all I'm saying is, whomever you now researched, research more. Okay, Saina, we've done with the saints. What do you want now?
We can start with the question answers.
Yes, we can.
Ji.
I want to, before you come to question answers, children, I have a question to ask all of you, and I want your quick answer. What are you learning from what's the latest news of crime which has happened from the dating apps these days? I want to ask you, are you tracking the news, and what is your learning from that? Ananya?
Ma'am, the biggest learning that I have is to always think twice before taking a decision, not to be very impulsive and not to take any decision out of being very emotional. And of course, I'm also learning that I need to imbibe the qualities of self defense, and I should have the strength to defend myself if God puts me in any situation like this.
And you're following the news of this ghastly murder?
Yes, ma'am, I have been following the news.
You must follow the news because these are lessons for all of you. See, if you notice, one of the bigger, I'll give you a summing up later on of the lessons to be learned. Okay, Ananya, I've heard you. Anamika, what is your lesson?
Ma'am, the thing I learned is taking the biggest decisions of your life, you must not take it emotionally. You must think it for at least 24 hours, give it time, think logically. You must have a vision. What if I'm taking the step? What can be the future consequences? Then only one must take a decision.
Well said. Gia, what do you think is your learning from what's happening? Are you keeping track of the news?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, firstly, without taking any decision, we should discuss that thing with our parents because they are the only one that will guide us to a right way. And if we are feeling shy or we are having any problem with discussing that thing with our parents, then we need to take a decision by our own, but not at single, while thinking twice and thrice.
This is biggest learning is always trust your parents' wisdom because parents are
Yes,
experienced.
ma'am.
Trust their wisdom because they will always think for your welfare. Trust them. Okay, Swagita,
Yes, ma'am.
your turn. What is your lesson from
Yeah,
what's
man,
happening?
nowadays, lots of people, childs are using to play PUBG and Free Fire. So they should avoid all these things because we are getting very beautiful life and beautiful time. We should have to manage the time. Every second, every moment, every hour is important for us. So whether we're playing this all PUBG or this, we should focus in our studies so that we can get a better future.
Very good. Well done. You're all maturing up so beautifully. Tanveen, what is yours?
You know.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, according to me, if anything happened with us or we think that it will happen, we should first follow our parents because parents are the only one who will think for our bright future. And secondly, we should be self-confident, we should be self-believed. Only then we will be solving our problems and becoming becoming confident and will be self-independent to deal with any kind of problem.
Prapti, yours? What is your learning from this?
Yeah, ma'am. Before getting indulged in any such activities or getting indulged to the online work, online version, we have to do a research and we have to think about the future impacts of the of so work, and we have to learn some ways of self defense, and we have to keep believe in one yourself, and then we should move forward, and we should ask about the same from family and parents.
Are your school assemblies discussing this case? Are there messages coming from school assembly or not yet?
Ma'am, not as yet.
Anamika, you?
Not yet, ma'am. Actually, in our school assembly, we have a rule that no negative news should be discussed.
But this
So
is
they are
positive.
not.
This is negative, but there's a positive message for both boys and girls. Gia, not
That's
none of
good.
your assemblies.
No, ma'am, not yet.
I think this should be discussed briefly. It's not the talking of the gruesome brutality, but the messages that one must not defy, one must trust your parents. And as you on your own said, irrational and emotional decisions sometimes do not, they can be blundered, they can be blunders. As in this case, it was a blunder for her. But I think the biggest lesson is that whatever decision you may take, a decision can go wrong. Supposing you've even done it with the consultation of your parents, you've taken it with their guidance, but there's a chance something can go wrong, right? Or you can go wrong in your assessment. Even if it's considered very rationally, then what happens? Then something goes wrong, what should you do, Ananya? If something goes wrong, even when you've done a rational decision.
Ma'am, I would immediately go back to my parents and firstly confess to them what actually I'm feeling and what have I done and what has been done to me. I think
So,
they are the only ones who can give us the correct solution and lead us through the problem, as big as the problem may be.
Anamika, you suppose the
Ma'am,
decision
I
goes.
will. Yeah, I will also try to go to my parents and as act as legally as it can be. I will try to solve the things legally so that I can get the support of the law and it will be safe, I think.
So you can both parents, and you can also invoke the law. But you must know the law. As you grow, as you girls grow, you must know the law. That means your legal rights. You must know the law. What about you, Gia?
Yes, ma'am, definitely. I will also go to my parents firstly and confess all the things and all the talks and get their
I'm
advice
sure.
firstly. Yes, ma'am.
Swagata? Swagata? Swagata?
Ma'am, first I will cool down and I will think that what happened, and then I will go to my parents. I will discuss with them. But first thing, I will calm down and I will think that what happened with me.
Tanveen?
Thank you, ma'am.
Firstly, I will not get disappointed for what have happened, and definitely I will also try to approach and try to seek the guidelines of my parents because if they will trust me, then only the world will trust me.
Prapti?
Ma'am, I will be first implying self defenses, and if then also it won't work, then I will open up to the society and the family and the parents, and then I will go for the law, for the justice to get delivered.
At what stage should you cry foul? What stage will you inform parents? Early or later or in the middle? Ananya. Something goes wrong. Now, in this case, it could be a boyfriend. It could be a boyfriend. He's friends with you, and your parents also like it. They approve of your friendship. But something got going wrong. You are afraid to tell the parents, Mommy, the same boyfriend has gone wrong. And you're afraid. Or you don't want to lose that boyfriend. You don't want to lose a friend. What stage will you tell them?
Ma'am, I would be scared. I would be afraid. All of those emotions are very human. And when you really like someone, those emotions tend to be even more. But I would prefer telling them at the early stage so that I don't face a consequence later.
So that means you will confide with someone, mother or
Yes.
father.
Ma'am, my mother, most definitely.
Anamika, because all of you will have friends as you grow. You will have friends. But the friend can be a friend, or the friend can be a friend who can cheat you. But you may not look it, but you detect that he's cheating you. Will you carry on, or would you do something? Anamika.
Ma'am, first of all, I will like to analyze the things because check it once. The thing I'm thinking, is it right or wrong? Then immediately I will inform both of my parents and discuss with them what should be done further.
But supposing they might just say, all right, you give up this boy, he's not good.
Then I would again and again we will try to hold a conversation. Then only we can get to a proper decision.
Supposing they tell you he's no good, leave him.
Then, ma'am, I would go. I would like to go with my parents.
Okay, Gia?
Definitely I will go with my parents because they have taken the decision for my good sake. If they have said no to that boy, I won't go there again.
If the boy follows you,
Yes, ma'am. I will definitely tell my parents first.
supposing he is a part of your class and he keeps chasing you and he keeps sending you messages,
No, ma'am, he can't send. We can block them. If he is in my class, there are lots of benches and our classroom is such a big.
so he's messaging you, you can block him.
Yes, ma'am,
You say
definitely.
he will block him.
Yes, ma'am.
But if he continues,
Ma'am, parents. I will tell my
what
parents
about?
on that moment when he texted me first message.
That's the point. That's the point. Don't delay it. You will not delay it.
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am,
That means
definitely no.
catching it when you are sneezing, not catching a cold.
Yes, ma'am.
You take it at a sneeze stage rather than catching a cold or
Yes,
getting it a
ma'am. On
flu.
that spot.
Before it
Yes, ma'am.
becomes a flu, you catch it at the first sneeze stage, so that the infection doesn't
Yes, ma'am.
grow, isn't it? Otherwise, if you
Yes, ma'am.
ignore the cold, it could take you to a major flu or influenza or even a pneumonia, because then it affects the lungs and it's life threatening, as it's happened in this girl's case. It's not that she did not know them. Even today's newspapers are, television news are saying, tomorrow's papers will say, she was actually hospitalized even last year in Bombay. He was beating her and she has injuries on her neck, etc. And she was hospitalized in some place in Mumbai, but she did not tell the doctor where the injuries came from. So it's not that he straight away go ahead and went ahead and strangled them, as per the news is saying. He was on drugs, as the news says. He was in alcohol, as the news says. He wasn't dating other women, as the news says so far. So it's not that this was the first time. All right. What about you, Swagata? So that means catch it when it's sneeze stage, right? When it's a sneeze, not become a pneumonia. Okay, Swagata?
No, no, ma'am.
Swagata?
Ma'am, first of all, I would like to explain that you must not do these things. I'm not liking you. I don't like to talk with you. If then also he's not listening, then I would like to say our class teacher, and then to not my parents, to my elder sister who is very close to me. So this is my suggestions, ma'am.
So you have
Before going to
who are you closest to? And you feel you need to have a
yes, ma'am.
confidence and not be shy. Don't go to your friend. First, go to your family. Sometimes we ignore our family. We think we can go to a friend, but the friend may not give you the right advice because the friend may be committing similar mistakes herself. What about you, Prapti?
Ma'am, first knowing the matter, I would like to analyze it, and if I find it really wrong, then I would take time to pamper myself for the emotional breakdown. Then I would like to open up to my family and parents, and then also if there something wrong like that happens to me, then I would go for some solution followed by law. Thank you, ma'am.
Another thing I would think, since we are on the subject of female security, girl security, you must understand that there is a vulnerability concerning women. There's a biological vulnerability concerning women. There's a biological vulnerability. And there's no doubt that the kind of muscle strength which the man has, that kind of muscle strength is not of the women. Everybody is not a Mary Kom. Because if Mary Kom hits one, she's better than million other men. Right? Everybody's not a Mary Kom. Therefore, the men use their brutal muscle power to overpower women. That's a biological, because physically, man is stronger than a woman. So he can handle it because of her physical inadequacy on that count. So when that happens, that's what I'm saying, trying to say that when that happens, that's a stage when you have to break free immediately before the matter deteriorates. That means you got to put a full stop to say this is this. Now that is when you want to give him. If you give him a chance, it's only one chance, but he may abuse the second chance itself. You never know. But at that stage, friends, family, etc., have to come in. But as you decide to get married, as you go ahead in years, and when you decide to get married, request your parents not to give you a dowry, not to give you, I'm trying to explain to you because parents do talk about that we have saved for you, etc. Keep the saving. That's your financial security. Request your parents if they have something for you and they want to give you, don't fritter it away on ostentatious wastage, ostentatious. Put it as fixed deposits, as financial security for you, so that lifelong you have your own financial strength. Because many times, all of us, all our parents always talk about marriage, which is a reality of life. But remember one thing, it's not indispensable. Marriage is not indispensable. It's a choice you make. But if you make that choice of marriage, it's a choice. Marriage is a very important turning point. In fact, the turning point of a woman are two turning points for women. Once, when she decides to get married. The biggest turning point is when she decides to have a baby and she becomes a mother. Not turning point is not when she decides to work for herself. No, that's not a turning point. It's an impacting point because she has now financial independence and she's got the financial muscle. But again, the many women which make a mistake is that they have the financial muscle, but then they give away that money again to the family and or make a joint account. They make a financial joint account. And then they start taking permission from the family to draw money. That's a mistake which will never have to be made. But the turning point is marriage. So if you decide to get married, then parents will have to be told very clearly that from your request, A, you will not marry a man who demands anything, but respects you for who you are. But second thing is that let them not waste money on ostentatiousness. Tell them save it, block it, and let the interest of the money or the fixed deposits or the interest come to your bank account directly. But they remain the custodians as long as they are alive, so that nobody can even take away your FDs and you can encash them to invest elsewhere. That's your financial security along with the work you will do, because you will all be extracurricular, you'll all be at the job. But do not waste papa's, mummy's hard earned money on ostentatiousness, but only on essentials required, the minimum essentials required, which are ceremonial required. Go ahead. But rest of it should become your fixed deposits, your savings, your security. You understand that? This woman had none of that. She had none of that. She had become economically also totally dependent on this person. And this also takes away her mobility, because if she had been earning and she would have gone out of home all the time, made friends, continue to talk, and maybe share. This way, she was all like imprisoned. She was imprisoned in the house. And look at the price she's paid. So, therefore, you're not going to be enamored by these dating apps, even enamored by friends who may tell you you're the best, and you also say you're the best. But let the best continue to be the best. But if the best shows signs of deterioration, you all go back to your parents or your people you rely on. But remember, not the friend, but your immediate relative, because you do not know whether the friend is giving you sensible advice or not. Have you understood? This is, by
Yes,
the way,
ma'am.
this is not planned, because so much of this is happening. We won't get this kind of chance again. And maybe through you, I'm reaching out to the other teenagers. Through you, maybe this is just a feeling. I had not thought about this before I came for this session show today. But it's very, very important for our young girls. That's why I asked you this question. Is your school discussing it? These are the kinds of discussions you need to have in your assembly. And these are the matters to be discussed in your parents teachers associations. Maybe you can suggest this in your school and class. Raise your hand saying, ma'am, we would like to have a discussion on this. What should young girls who are vulnerable, and you're very vulnerable, 17, 18, 19 is very vulnerable, because this is a situation where times when you all do get into associations and friendships, and the friends can take you astray or show you the garden path. So remember, maintain your dignity, maintain your personal space, and be very, very conscious of self respect. Very self respecting. Had this girl been self respecting, she would have not even been hit the second time. Even if she made a wrong choice and the marriage is concerned. But if she was self respecting and somebody hurts her, she would say, who the hell are you? How dare you touch me? She would have never died like this. And she was a young journalism student. She was she had done a graduation in journalism. So keep track of this news. There are lots of lessons for all of you, but raise this in your class schools that you would like a discussion. And what are the lessons for young girls and young boys? Young boys to also be responsible in their behavior, be sensible, responsible, be at peace with themselves, not be angry, because these are angry people. They're very angry people. They have no way to control their anger. And then drugs and alcohol is very deadly decoction. Have you all understood, children? Have you
Yes,
all
ma'am.
understood? Hmm?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Anamika?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, as Saina said, we come to your questions, answers. Let's do the Q&A. So, Ananya, your question.
Ma'am, firstly, thank you so much for this insightful session. I think it was much needed. But my question today is a little not from the topic that we've spoken about. I want to ask you how to deal with criticism or how to take criticism constructively.
You use the word constructive criticism, right? You use the word construct. That means it's constructive. That means you're analyzing, has it any substance? Supposing somebody says that you speak very well, but you're too loud. That's constructive criticism. Hear yourself. Put on your little tape. Listen to yourself. I'm just giving you an example. You know what? Ananya, you speak very well. Your vocabulary is excellent. Your presentation is brilliant. But I think you're too loud. Or you're too long. Or you're doing this error. Or your language has these mistakes. Or you're very gesticulating. I think that's constructive criticism. Listen to it. And don't get angry about it. Don't feel depressed about it. In fact, they've done you a favor that you understood and say thank you. On the contrary, saying thank you for your feedback. It's constructive criticism, is also positive feedback. So
Thank you,
take it
ma'am.
as a feedback and then work on it to say, all right, if you agree with it. And if you don't agree with it, you may be deliberately doing this. You may be deliberately being loud because the audience has not heard you. You're making it speak loud because you want everybody to hear. You need to reason. Know how? So understand yourself. Okay, Anand? You
Yes,
got a
ma'am.
question?
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So you have a question or you don't have a question now? Saina, your mic.
नहीं, we go to Anamika.
Okay.
जी.
All right. Anamika.
Thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful session and discussion. It was really neat of the time. Ma'am, I have been a huge fan of yours since my childhood. So I have always wanted to ask you this question. As the first female IPS officer, have you ever thought yourself anything to be different from other women in the country?
Yes. I feel very responsible and I feel very grateful. For the reason, grateful first for all that nature gave me. Blessed me with very, very visionary parents. That is what, because parents, you and I don't choose, we just get them. Parents then give you a very good school, again, which they give you. I'm grateful that the Almighty gave me very good energetic health, that I've been able to use my energy well, the education, my parents. So I feel grateful. So there's nothing I in this. Blessed with parents, blessed with energy, grateful. Now my duty is to see I maintain my energy and I remain grateful and worthy of my parents. That's my duty now, right? So this is gratitude. My second thing is sense of responsibility of this is that I know that what I do inspires others. Therefore, let me do all that which inspires you. Let my actions be good karma so that they inspire you. So I feel responsible. On one hand, I feel grateful. On the other hand, I feel responsible that I know girls probably are looking for inspiration. And if my deeds can inspire you, that's a good deed done. So I feel responsible for all that I do. So, two things which same thing will happen for you. You girls are also blessed. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been on this show today. You have the energy, you wouldn't have been on the show otherwise. You got blessings, parents, and schooling. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been on this show today. So your job is now be role models, which means work hard, study well, use your time well, maintain good health, and be worthy. Maintain your thoughts. Do all those kind of right things. Like that's why we brought in saints for you, and we brought in book reading for you, only to keep you keep showing you the path.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Gia. Yeah, your question.
Ma'am, can you please suggest me to stay motivated all the time? Because sometimes we come across this situation that we are very much demotivated and we don't want to do anything. We just think that we can't do this work. We won't be doing this.
You already did it through Kabir ke dohe. कबीर
Yes,
के
ma'am,
दोहे.
but still.
ओ ये कबीर के दोहे को पढ़ते जाओ, बोलते जाओ.
Yes, ma'am, they are very motivating.
बिल्कुल, तो फिर और क्या चाहिए?
I used to listen them and I am
तो
demotivated.
आप मुझे बताओ, कभी भी कबीर का दोहा सुन के आप डिमोटिवेट होंगे?
No, ma'am,
Then,
never.
so whenever you feel demotivated, just go back to Kabir. You have already found your own antidote. You found your medicine. You found your
Yes,
way. You answered your own question by your own effort. So Kabir is your friend. Kabir is your nutrition. Read more and more
yes,
about
ma'am.
him. You will stay motivated. It's your now. What is
Thank you.
Kabir? What is Kabir? Kabir is not a person. Kabir is thoughts. Kabir is thoughts. His thoughts, his love, and his devotion. So when you stay happy and you stay devoted to what? Your studies. You stay
Studies.
devoted to your family and you continue to love them, care for them, and you stay devoted to your uh, education which you're getting. You stay, that is motivation. And if you're in doubt, read Kabir.
Thank
You
you,
found
ma'am.
your way. Jia? Yes, Ogita?
Thanks for your wonderful guidance, ma'am. So my question is, ma'am, what had struck your mind to become a IPS officer? Why did you dream only to become a IPS officer? Why not doctor, engineer, teacher? And what problems had you faced in your life, and how did you solve those problems?
See, we all grow up in a particular way. So, and the subjects you choose. People like one of us, Jia, is in medicine. She's becoming a doctor. She must have chosen biology as a subject, right? You choose yours because you like them. In my school, I chose civics, I chose geography, I chose history, I chose English because I was a humanities student. I liked civics, I liked political science, I liked it. I chose my subject. I liked English literature. I liked psychology. I loved geography. I loved humanities, liberal arts. But at heart, I wish one day I could be a doctor. But I chose my subjects, which I wanted. But the doctor in me brought me through the police. What does the doctor do? Doctor heals, doctor corrects, doctor helps. And what is uniform for? Uniform heals, uniform helps, uniform corrects. So if by subjects I couldn't be a doctor, by uniform I became a doctor. Basically, I wanted to be a doctor, but now in khaki. See, I wanted to be, but choosing my subjects which I loved. So I got both. I got both. And for that, to be in the IPS, I had to be very strong outdoor. I had to be in sports. I had to be an NCC girl. I had to be an all-rounder because I would have done all the same training as the boys did. So I have to be fit, physically very fit. And sports and NCC and mobility and travel prepared me mentally to be mentally strong. So in a way, it was a preparation to be a doctor in uniform and to serve. My heart, when I went to IPS officer or service, I didn't know what was going to be my salary. I was not interested. I was interested in what am I going to do with the uniform on me? How many people can I help? So that's what exactly the doctors is. So I think it's what is inside you, what are you asking for, and what you want emerges through your subjects. Engineering, you will take up accordingly science of another, you take a lot of mathematics. And I was very weak in mathematics. Mathematics was not my favorite subject, it was the last. So how could I be there? So you see, you know your strengths. So go by that. So that was the reason. All right, Prapti, your question. Then we have Saina's summing up.
First
Ma'am,
of all,
I
thank you, ma'am,
really
for
salute you,
giving.
ma'am. I
Prapti?
First
really
of all,
salute
thank
you, ma'am. Even my dream.
Yes, Swagita? Yeah, what did you say?
Ma'am, I really salute you, ma'am. And even my dream also is to become an IPS officer only, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So keep preparing now. Keep your NCRT books carefully. Read them carefully. That's all basic foundation general knowledge as you develop. So by the time you're 21, 22, sit for the IPS. But keep preparing. Your books are your preparation. Before you plan your
Sure,
courses,
ma'am.
advanced learning in your courses, in your subjects. More research, and you'll make it very early. Yes?
हाँ प्राप्ति जी
Good.
जी
You will one
प्राप्ति
day, and when you do become, let us know.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Prapti, your turn. Your turn.
First of all, thank you, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to ask you a question. I love reading geopolitics and international relationship, and for that reason, administration and polity is something for which I always used to look forward to learn something new. And for that, as an enthusiast student, I want to know from you that how the decision of pursuing law degree changed the course of your life.
You see, law degree uh, makes you a much more informed citizen. It tells you rights and duties. It also gives you a profession to help others. And it is a vocation to follow. And law degree can make you a lawyer, and law degree can make you a judge. It depends on you. I did a law degree basically to be informed better because I'm a practicing law enforcer. The more knowledge I have of law basics, the better will be my uh, service to the community because I can and more better will be my guidance to my juniors. Which law to apply, how, interpret it how, then you read the judgments, which is law. So the law is very helpful. It's a profession. It also prepares you to be a better citizen. And it also opens up two more professions if you want to practice judgeship or lawyership. But it's also profession when you practice it. And even for the UPSC examinations, it's helpful. And you can even go into teaching. You can be a law professor. You can also do a PhD in that. You can also be consultant in corporate world. You practice on law. So today, law has many avenues of practicing. It depends on which area you want to move into. Practicing, corporate, consultancy, advisory, judgeship, or otherwise, or teaching. It's up to you. Or join the services, which is also very good. When you join the government, law is very important because everything's based on law. Governance is law, rules, and regulations, right, Prapti? Got it? This is how it helped
Thank you,
me.
ma'am.
It helped me be better informed, better guide, better mentorship, better justice, better decisions, right? It helped me, right? Okay,
Yeah,
Saina,
ma'am.
your turn, Vijay.
बच्चों जय धारी माँ आप सब हमारी बच्चियाँ हो और हम प्रार्थना करते हैं कि आपको ज़िंदगी में सब खुशियाँ मिलें और मैं बहुत जिम्मेवारी से कुछ काम तेरे हाथों से आपको आज कुछ बोल रही हूँ है कांप रही हूँ क्योंकि आई विश वी कुड take you into another world but this is the world, this is our reality. वी हैव टू फेस इट. आपको 2 पावर्स का हमेशा ध्यान रखना है. कौन सी? नंबर 1 विल पावर और नंबर 2 won't power. I will do this. I will not do this. So your willpower and your won't power both have to be equally strong based on your values. Please do not go out there into the world without knowing what your core values are. What do you stand for? और वो दुख सुख में ऊपर नीचे नहीं होते. So your willpower and your won't power. Uncontrolled mind, uncontrolled body, uncontrolled senses. We are not meant for this. So if you have no control over your mind or your body or your senses, work on that. Work on that. Number 3, self-defense has another word. You all have to defend yourself first from the self. Where you can nip it in the bud, nip it in the bud. You all know how to. You will know how to if you want to nip it in the bud. Decisions based on weakness and fear are not productive in the long run. Decisions based on weakness, fear are not productive in the long run. Every situation is different. But you have to be mindful. You have to be headful. You have to be heartful. So your mind and your head and your heart have to work together in taking those decisions. आंखों पर पट्टी मत बांधा करो. आंखों पर पट्टी मत बांधा करो.
So, Saina, can we wrap up?
एक दो बात और.
No, 1 minute, bete. I have to. The program is over.
जी,
No, we
बस
can't cross time. 1 minute.
जी जी. आंखों पर पट्टी मत बांधा करो. खुली आंखों से लो फैसले. अच्छे फैसले लोगे. लास्ट बात बोलती हूँ. Misplaced compassion, misplaced forgiveness, misplaced giving. इसको प्यार और त्याग नहीं बोलते. ये बहुत डिस्ट्रक्टिव होता है सबके लिए. प्यार और त्याग पूजा है. सो ये चीजों को दोबारा एक बार प्लीज सुन लेना. And I, as a mother, bless you a life full of love. True love.
Most grateful, Saina, for a wonderful message, for a very good roundup. Fundamentals you've given up as a summing up. Beautiful. So this session has been very unique, if you ask me. It's been a very unique session. It's a very in-depth session. It led to the foundations and fundamentals. Children, you can see this program. I think probably will be on your YouTube channel of Demonstrative Learning. It's also gone live already. You can download it for your friends. You can share it with your friends. It's going to benefit all our young boys and girls. So share it as widely as you can, isn't it? इतनी मेहनत लगी, इतना thinking collective हुई, तो बड़ा अच्छा हुआ. Very happy that you got, and you are staying connected on the book reading group of WhatsApp. You will continue to get the morning nutrition, and you'll continue to be in chat with our team of Shakira, Shivani, Sujata, and Saina, all of us. Okay? So you are staying connected. You are connected with me too through the morning, the WhatsApp groups of book reading. Okay, friends? Thank you, children. Anya, Anamika, Jia, Sargita, and
Thank you
Prabhu.
so
Thank
much,
you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, ma'am. Namaste,
Well,
ma'am.
जयधारी माँ बच्चों, जयधारी माँ,
Jayadhari
खुश
Mama.
रहो, हंसते खेलते रहो,
Jayadhari. Thank you.
पूरी
Beti.
जिंदगी हंसते खेलते रहो, खुश रहो.
Thank you. God bless you. All the best for your exams coming. Enjoy your education. You're all going to make it very good. All I can tell you is you have brightness right on your feet. I can read them. Your brightness right up. You will reach your destinations. You will all outstand. You will be outstanding as the BR group of 103. Okay, bye bye. Thank you.
Bye, ma'am. Jai Hind, ma'am.
Jai Hind. Jai Hind.
जयधारी माँ बच्चों, हमारी ऑडियंसेस का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. हमारे बच्चों को ऐसे ही बहुत सारा आशीष दीजिए, प्यार दीजिए. ऑल ऑफ यू टेक केयर. सब सुनहरा होगा. टेक केयर. जयधारी माँ.